This is Tanglin. Will you buy a unit in Tanglin? Whether is it for own stay or for investment? Let's find out. So Tanglin has an average PSF of 1,876 right now. And Tanglin is basically TOP in 2011, and it is a leasehold property, and the tenure started from May 1997, which makes them about 28 years from now. If you base on TOP, right, it is only 24 years. And they have a total of 384 units, comprising of 2-bed, 3-bed, and also 4-bedroom. Now let's take a look at the location. So where is Tanglin? Tanglin is located at Prince Charles Crescent, whereby it is situated somewhere over here. Okay, so Tanglin is one of the old development, which is one of the first few to reside in this area. So the good thing about this area is that you are close to the Orchard Road. You can either go by the Tanglin Road or River Valley Road to reach Orchard Road. And surrounding the area, there is also some popular school, like for example Crescent Girls School. And you can also walk to the MRT station if you are not driving. So over the years, this area has grown quite a fair bit because Bukit Merah is a rejuvenating estate. And over the years, this place has become more and more convenient. Like for example, right now you have more shops around the area, whereby Atra, there is a restaurants and also NTUC Finance over there. And in the near future, right, there is also another 2 HDB cluster that could have some amenities as well. So whether or not Tanglin is a development that you can consider to buy for own stay or for investment, there are a few factors that we need to take into consideration, and one of the most common one is to understand the price trend. And over here, we can see that this is a price trend of the leasehold property in District 3. And you can see that the price trend in this district, right, has a very healthy upward slope. But if we only looking at one factors of the price trend, it doesn't give us any insight of what it means. So we will need to go deeper and understand more by doing different comparison. So if we put in the chart of the freehold and also the leasehold together, right, usually when I do the analysis, I will also put 999 as the same as freehold, because 999 is a very long lease. It is as good as a freehold. If you drill deeper, right, there is still a price difference between a real freehold and a 999 leasehold. Okay, nevertheless, from this chart, you can see that leasehold property has a higher average PSF, which is price per square foot, than freehold and 999 combined. So by right, a freehold and a 999 leasehold property should be priced more higher than a leasehold property. So why is that? In this chart, we are seeing that the leasehold property actually has a higher per square foot. So let's dig deeper and find out why. So when I trace back the record, right, I actually realized that there is a lot of new launch happened in District 3 in the past years. So if we look at the history, right, there is 11 new launch development that has happened, starting from Hainan Residence all the way to One Pearl Bank. By the way, if you haven't known, even though One Pearl Bank is located in Chinatown, it is actually part of District 3. During this period of time, right, many of the new launch was launching at the new high almost every single time, which created a push in the per square foot for the leasehold property. The last new launch freehold that launched in District 3 was Alexis somewhere in 2009. So if we dissect the information by splitting out the leasehold property price trend, right, we can see that older development, anything that is older than 2005, right, the price trend is actually lower than the freehold and 999 leasehold property. And those property that is 2006 and younger, their price is actually higher. So whether if you are buying a new property or an old property, right, the entire price trend is quite healthy because they are all trending in the same direction. This could be a same meaning that good times price will go up, bad times all may fall together, because their price trend seems to be very correlated. So if you buy Tanglin today and you're going to hold for probably 10 or even 20 years, is it good to choose Tanglin, which is already a 28 years old property? So let's take a look at the price trend of C.H.O.I.C.E. This is a freehold old development in District 3. And why do I choose this as an example? It's because this is the oldest and also the latest transaction that I can find. In fact, the latest transaction was 2022, because there isn't a lot of unit in C.H.O.I.C.E. But through the price trend, you can see that in every transaction, there is a higher per square foot. But it may not be a very good comparison because it's a freehold. Nevertheless, this is the latest that I can find. And another one that we can compare is the Emerald Park. Okay, why I choose Emerald Park is because it TOP in 1993. It is very close to 10 years apart from Tanglin. Okay, quite close. So in the assumption that you buy Tanglin right now, 10 years later, what will it become? You may try to use Emerald Park as a comparison. So whoever that bought 10 years ago in Emerald Park, right, you can see that actually right now the price is higher than 10 years ago. So I know a lot of people has been talking about this thing called the Bala curve, which I also did a detailed explanation in one of my very old video, which I posted it in December 2023. Let's take a look and recap the meaning of Bala curve. As the lease get used up, this percentage decreases. So there are 3 key intervals on the curve you should take note when it hits 60 years, 30 years and 15 years remaining lease. At each interval, the rate of decline in property value increases. It's also important to note that this assumes all other factors remain unchanged, like no improvement in surrounding estates, no new development, no new amenities, basically nothing. All other factors remain unchanged. No new launch, no amenities, basically nothing, no new improvement in the entire estate. So if we take the Bala curve and we make a comparison with the chart of Tanglin, right, you will see that both are inversely proportional, because over the past years, there has been a lot of new launch. Okay, and over the past years, this area has also come up with many new amenities, plus our population growth. I do not know how long can Tanglin continue to go up, but if I base on Emerald Park, which is close to 10 years older than Tanglin, at least I can see that the price is still going up. For Bala curve to be very relevant with today's market, right, the land cost, construction cost, amenities, transportation, population, our own salary has to remain unchanged, including the policy as well. But at the very tail end of the remaining list, right, you may see that the Bala curve become more real. So if I look at the past transaction, right, Tanglin has a very good winning rate with a 72 versus 2 units that lose. So if you buy to Tanglin, at least you know lah, you are highly likely to become one of the winner as well. So let's say if you are looking to buy a 3-bedroom unit in Tanglin, what is the price and the investment outlay amount that you are looking at? So if we do a search in Property Guru, you will find that there are 3-bedroom that is also priced at about 2.5 mil plus. So at this price range, right, 5%, 20% and also your stamp duty will give you a total investment outlay of 722,600. So if you are planning to rent out the unit, potentially in today's market, you could rent out at about 5,900. So if we minus off your mortgage repayment, maintenance fees and sinking funds and also property tax, right, you are looking at a negative cash flow of 2,652. Comparing to my first video that I did for C.H.O.I.C.E, this is definitely a much lesser negative cash flow. So if you are looking to buy this property and hold for 10 years, your money repayment for your mortgage will be split into 3,900 plus for the principal amount and also 3,000 600 round up as the interest amount. So this interest amount have to take into consideration as your expenses. So in a 10 years period, right, if let's say you are buying Tanglin View at 2.51 mil, what will be the investment break-even point? So we will need to calculate your total cost. After 10 years, your outstanding loan will be about 1.4 mil plus, and you would have paid a down payment of 672,000, stamp duty 95k. You would have paid an interest of 431,000, paid a property tax of 78k. Maintenance fees will have paid about 54,000, and including all the miscellaneous costs like the renovation agent fees and also maintenance of the property to upkeep the property, right? Giving an estimate figure of 62,000 plus. Your break-even point to sell the property could be at 2.76 million, which is roughly about 250k apart from your purchase price, which can be quite a doable figure. And if let's say you are looking for a 2% per annum, then it will be looking to sell at 3.364 mil, and 3% per annum would be 3.709 mil. So that will be a gross annual return. If let's say you want to calculate cash on cash return, right, taking all the investment cost outlay, a cash on cash return for a 2% per annual gross return, right, it is actually equivalent to a 4.47% per annual cash on cash return. And if let's say we are talking about 3% per annual, right, gross return, right, a cash on cash return would be equivalent to 7.03% per annual. So now do you know why a lot of people are investing into property? Because if you are lucky, you would have a cash on cash return that is much more than many other investment instruments. But you have to weigh the pros and cons, because different instruments has their downside and also upside. And the downside for property investing is that it is a very long-term investment. If you make the wrong move, then you have to endure it for many years. But if you choose the right property, your investment return can be more than 10% per annual. So comments below in this video and let me know, if you are the buyer today, would you buy a 3-bed condo unit in Tanglin View? Or what are the unit or development you will consider in District 3? I am James from Homeseller. We help HDB home buyers to buy HDB for 1,999 and resale condo for 2,999. No commission for new launch condo and EC. And I am also the founder for C.H.O.I.C.E 6-step framework. Do comments in this video politely and respectfully, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.